Incredible. Let's go, Seth.
Hey there, this is Seth Schaefer from Team Just Cause Robotics, and in today's video, we're going to be doing part 2, a follow-up to the part 1 video I did last week for how Division version 3.1 performed at the April Norwalk Havoc event. Buckle up, because we're going to get right into the action with fight number 1. So, my fourth fight of the event was going to be against Sombra. Sombra is one of the Brazilian robots from the team behind the BattleBot Minotaur, coming up here from South America to compete against the best Beetleweights in the world, and it certainly is one of those. It has won a bunch of tournaments in Brazil. It has a super fast, unique 3-tooth beater bar drum on the front, and I was worried I was just going to lose the tip speed war like I did against Dread Hades, but, well, you'll just have to see how the fight went.
Sombra, driven by Tomas from AGVS, and Division here, Seth Schaefer, driven by Bloodsport team member Seth Schaefer. 5, 4, 3, 2,
elimination 1. Round 3, 3-pound division.
Oh! Huge hit there. Division and Sombra meeting in the middle of the arena.
Oh! Division not wasting any time crossing that arena and getting in that one good shot against Sombra.
Division has successfully gotten Sombra on its head. Division will very helpfully help Sombra back onto its feet. Look at this.
That's good sportsmanship right there, Luke.
Here we go.
Wow.
Division pushing Sombra into the corner.
Sombra with that thick armor on the back. You see how it just peels up.
You can see Tomas trying to self-right himself, trying to gyro himself back over onto his feet. There we go. Sombra's back. But it looks like the weapon on Sombra could be down.
Wow.
Division coming in here to capitalize. That's a good pin. That's an aggressive pin.
Yeah, and it's a good angle to be going in. Wow.
That is a tap out from Sombra. This is our last fight of the day for Sombra in the Beatles, and Seth Schaefer is celebrating. Incredible. I was able to catch Division's last fight against Clyde, and that was back in Cage 5, and people were transfixed. That was an incredible fight. You could hear them cheering their cage side because Seth just, with this new design of Division, is really taking it to the competitors. You know, he had a tough road to climb here with Sombra. I mean, Sombra really was favored to win, I would say, just the rock, paper, scissors of this match. But Seth was able to land these aggressive pins and deal out enough damage to take the win. Incredible.
Yeah, Division's definitely just one of the most fun bots to watch in this division.
Echoing a lot of the sentiment here in the chat right now. Division is her super chat. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but yes, there you go. Love that the clapping hands emojis show up.
To say that went better than expected would be a serious understatement. I honestly was pretty sure that I was screwed going into this fight after what happened against Dread Hades. I thought for sure that he was just going to win the tip speed war and launch me all over the place. I got pretty lucky with this first engagement though, that Sombra got flipped upside down, and from then on I was able to capitalize on his limited mobility. Turns out that I landed 2 crippling blows to Sombra, which you will see exactly what they did in the post-fight interview that I did with Tomas. But essentially, I had his weapon barely functional, if at all functional, after the first couple contacts, and also managed to hit his drive side armor on the left side, I think it was, into his wheel, so it clamped against the wheel, preventing it from turning. So I basically had full mobility and a weapon working, while he had his weapon kind of sort of working-ish, and only one drive side for most of this fight, which meant I was able to basically just take it to him until he tapped out. I'll let you enjoy the rest of this fight as well, though there aren't too many super exciting moments in the rest of this like there were at the start.
Back off.
It's a good angle to be going in.
Yes! Yes! Oh my god!
Thomas. I'm the Sombra's driver, and I lost last fight. And here is the damages in my board. Here's the main damage. I think this is the reason to block my weapon here.
Oh wow, I hit that upright directly and it split it in half. That's crazy. My camera will not focus on it. There it is.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
And then a lot of damage here, and it blocks my wheel also.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that your wheel wasn't turning.
Yeah. And you hit a lot in my wheels also, but it's still intact.
So you drive the wheel just with friction against this like roller?
Yeah.
Wow, that's so clever. I've been trying to figure out a way to do something similar to that. That's the reason I have my pinion gear set up, was to get the biggest reduction possible, but that's obviously a bigger reduction than I can get.
Yeah, and another big damage is here.
Oh my goodness. That was all from me?
When I'm backwards, you
That's crazy.
made all of this.
All right, thank you so much. That was such a wonderful fight.
Thank you for your too.
Thank you. I just talked with the Brazilian team. They gave me stickers for all 3 of their bots. This is what Division looks like after fighting Sombra. He got a direct hit on this wheel right here, split the wheel, still works perfectly. I think the tires started coming off of this wheel because I was driving aggressively, and it still works, but it's maybe a little sketch. I might swap this wheel out for a new one. The back, I think he directly hit it because it's dented in a bit here. And it survived fine anyway, because thank God for TPU, it is just absolutely the best thing ever. And I survived with weapon-on-weapon hits, not completely annihilating my weapon somehow. So that's pretty good. I am astounded that I came out of that fight okay. I've got a fresh battery in the bot and it's already ready to go. Taking a look at the bracket before my next fight, I saw that my next opponent was going to be Drum Go Dumb, which would have been another rematch, except, well, it wasn't exactly a robot anymore at the time that I was supposed to fight it. Drum Go Dumb and I had fought in the past, and Izzy Cow tried her best to fix the robot in time, but after nearly an hour of repairing, she wasn't able to get it back together and had to forfeit the fight. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. My next fight would be a rematch against Fully Defined. I had just fought Fully Defined in March, and he beat me pretty badly, hitting through the back of my chassis. But, well, as you can see, his weapon's been upgraded, and it's even scarier now. I added TPU back armor, but I guess this was going to be an opportunity to see if it held up. Yeah, the weapon's still on. And now it's still... Wow, it's still on!
And the match will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, well, there it is.
Action.
6,
Seth Schaefer has
5,
just been on a
4,
tear today with
3,
Division.
Absolutely, fully
1.
defined, very, very good robot. Big, wide face on that thing, super controlling. But yeah, Division dominant today. And what happened?
No!
Nothing's moving on fully defined.
Tap out.
That's a tap out. Division dominating that fight.
Whoa!
Wow, that was over almost as fast as it started. YouTube sensation Seth Schaefer. He just moves on in the bracket.
You know, Seth Schaefer has been working on Division for years. This has been a robot that he's been so passionate about.
Yeah, the first time he brought it, we all were like, oh, nice glass cannon you've got there, Seth. Yes. Oh, great. Big weapon, silly, not going to work at the 3-pound weight class.
Yeah.
And then the next year, he's like, oh, it self-rights now. And we were like, what?
Yeah.
And then the year after that, he's like, oh, it's super reliable now. And we were like, huh, that doesn't make any sense. And then this year, he's got the drive figured out.
Yeah.
He can actually maneuver that thing in a way that's totally competitive at this weight class. Seth gets better and better and better every day. If you're not subscribed to his YouTube channel, you absolutely should be. He's got great content literally all the time. Teaches you how to build robots, teaches you how to perfect your robot, and it's coming from a true expert in Seth Schaefer.
So Yeah. I did nothing, but I won anyway. Division's great, apparently. Yeah, that's all I got.
Alright, just fought Fully Defined, and Division won because Fully Defined turned off. So now I have to fight next opponent.
I think that's my bottle.
And this is a Vector kit, but like not really though anymore. And that is a problem because the last time I fought a Vector kit, it was still a Vector kit, and I won. So we'll see what happens this time.
Spartan is a heavily modified Vector kit, and it honestly has almost no original Vector parts left in it. It just kind of mostly resembles a Vector kit at this point. He has these really sharp low-to-the-ground rear forks, which I knew were going to be a problem for me running my wedge setup, but I wasn't too concerned about his weapon, since the last time that I fought a non-modified Vector kit, I disabled the weapon pretty easily. Let's see how this fight went.
5,
This is Division versus Spartan elimination round 6, 3-pound Division.
Robots fight.
This weapon on Spartan is ridiculous, but now it doesn't have a belt anymore. And Division's belt and weapon is working just fine.
Oh, you
no
need
issues.
your belts. Spartan losing a belt for its second match in a row. It lost its belt in its match against Blackbird, and it just, in the first 2 seconds, the belt was gone.
Yeah, my question is, like, what's happening to these belts? Did he let them get frozen overnight? Like, what's going on here?
Big hits. And just kicking the mini pot of Spartan in the air. Seth Schaefer has now successfully got around to the back of Spartan. With 2 minutes left, he has tipped Spartan up against the rail. 2 Bretts on top of one another, coming here to help. Big Brett and baby Bretts.
Now, as we learned in the last competition, it does make sense to go after that mini-bot if you have the bandwidth to do it.
Seth Schaefer has to make sure that he doesn't accidentally knock himself out.
That was a ridiculous hit.
Seth is loving it.
You can almost see a smile cracking across the face of Seth Schaefer.
Is it possible, Kyle? Might we see a smile from Seth Schaefer?
It's possible. Hasn't been seen yet.
What is happening? Oh my God, I thought the electronics had stopped for a second on Division.
No, he got stuck on that little piece of purple plastic over there in the corner from the mini-bot.
This fight is still very much on. Johnny Supas's drive is absolutely bulletproof.
There is a crowd of Roboteers that is showing up over here to watch as this fight continues. Very interested in what's going on.
60 seconds left here in this fight.
I see Evan just stepped by to see what's happening. I see Calvin just stopped over to see what's happening. It's interesting. The pits are very interested in this fight and what's happening here.
This is Seth Schaefer's best day yet with Division. 35 seconds left here.
Absolutely. Division was kind of a novelty robot, something interesting, something to be watched and experimented with. But today, Division is a competitive bot. Whoa! They're self-righted. They are going in. Look at that hit that they just got. This is so impressive. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Whoa! 3, 2, 1. I cannot believe this fight is going to the judges.
Amazing. Johnny Sumpas there is very happy about that. We got a smile from Seth.
It's a smile on Seth Schaefer's face. It doesn't even matter what the judges say at this point. This is a win in my book.
Hug. Here we go.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
All right, even though this is the last match of the night for one of these competitors,
look at these hits. Look, there goes the belt. It's gone.
Division just went on a tear here. Popping Johnny Sumpas and his bot. Look at the mini bot from Johnny. That's in like 7 different pieces here.
Division is ridiculous. I mean, it's just so big. That weapon's so tall.
Yeah.
And yet he can control that thing. He can drive it. It's just beautiful. We're going to go to the judges. Who
Do you
should
think
we
that
start
this
with?
is a thumbs up
Yeah, let's
kind of
do
situation?
it. Let's do it. Who here thinks Spartan won that fight? Anybody? Thumbs up? Spartan.
Oh, I see
Spartan.
thumbs in the audience. Here we go.
Oh, all right. Audience like this.
The only thumbs that matter, though, are these 3 judges.
So, judges, who thinks Seth Schaefer and Division won that fight? Thumbs up.
3. Oh, Joe. All right, three thumbs there for Division and Seth Schaefer, who remains alive here in the elimination bracket. It is very difficult to go through the elimination bracket, and Seth is doing great.
Yeah.
This is absolutely a story to watch.
Yeah, it's his best Norwalk yet.
Yeah.
Like, undisputed best Norwalk yet for Seth Schaefer. He's doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
It's great to see what was kind of a novelty bot being hyper competitive today.
So much of a Division's success or failure depends on its reliability.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can that weapon continue to go? Can that drive continue to go? We're seeing incredible reliability from Seth.
Once again, Division ends up going to the judges and ekes out a win. Well, maybe not ekes out a win, definitely dominating this fight, really. This was a really, really fun fight where Division got to show its stuff, and I launched Spartan into the ceiling of the arena at least 3 separate times. I probably would have done it more than 3 times if not for the fact that I made one crucial error in the middle of the fight, but I'll get to that in a bit. I was having some issues with the drive being a little bit bouncy and just generally getting stuck on things very often in this fight. And unfortunately, I have some ESC tuning issues that I need to work out because I wasn't able to reverse the weapon as quickly as I was able to in the past. So every time I tried to switch the weapon direction to get unstuck from somewhere, I would just end up having it slowly spin down and then slowly spin up the other way instead of instantly reversing like it did in my test box, which would allow me to basically launch my robot from the gyroscopic forces and get unstuck from wherever. One other thing was that I had clipped the back little tips of the little fins that stick out of my back TPU armor on the vertical configuration, but I forgot to do that on the horizontal configuration, meaning that any time that something got under the front of my robot just a tiny little bit, my wheels were no longer touching the floor because the tips of those fins were instead. So that's why every time I got engaged with the back forks on Spartan, I ended up pretty much unable to do anything, which was really, really frustrating. And I really wish that I had my weapon reversing working better so that I could have gotten unstuck from those situations, since that happens so many times, just like you can see here.
This is the point in this fight where I really screwed up. I easily could have cost myself the fight here, not actually just because I got stuck on top of this piece of purple plastic, but because I reversed the weapon here and then forgot about it. So, for about the next minute of this fight, my weapon is now spinning down instead of spinning up, and I couldn't really tell in the heat of battle. I wasn't paying close enough attention, even though you can see clearly here that it is spinning the wrong direction. So for the rest of the fight, up until the last like 20 seconds or so, there was no way for me to actually do anything except bumble around bouncing off of the floor, since I hadn't realized the weapon was spinning the wrong way. I found out from doing this that I really need to change my speed controller settings, because the reversing on the weapon used to be like instant, and for some reason it is super, super slow now, so that's something I have to play with at home, but I have until the July event to mess with that, so shouldn't be an issue to sort it out by then. I think it was right around here that I finally realized, oh crap, something is definitely wrong now, I better switch the weapon direction. So here I switch it back to spinning upwards, and that's when you can see myself right this way, and then all of a sudden I can actually do what Johnny Supos has been asking me to do, and roof his robot.
Come on, Ruby! 7, 6.
I'm Johnny from Spartan, and you fucked us up. So our blade we have a key that I thought was going to do great, and it got completely warped. A couple direct hits, and that just went perfectly. On the first hit, we ate our belt, so didn't have much to do there. And you punched through our carbon fiber there as well, which was just great. Our whole bottom plate was completely bent inwards as well. And we hit the ceiling a couple times.
Did I remove the wheel guard from that side, or did you do that?
No, that was from
you did that.
But I think, you also cut this.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna keep finding more and more, but that's all visible now.
And the pulley?
Yeah, so pulley, it's cracked all the way through now.
Oh my god!
Nick did this in the Phantom 3 fight, so I'm gonna keep running this until it explodes. Because, I'm gonna wait till it does that. So, yeah, I'm gonna fight a 12-pounder next.
Alright, that was an awesome fight though, that was so good.
Thank you so much, that was so fun.
Thank you. At the start of this event, Spartan had beat Lynx in their first fight of the day, but it was because Lynx had a temporary brownout and Calvin Eba decided to tap before his robot came back to life. He was fighting his way through the loser's bracket, kicking everybody's butt along the way, and now is the time that you've all been waiting for, when I had to face him. Lynx has won multiple Norwalk Havoc tournaments before, and this was not a fight that I saw any way that I could win. Before the fight I had some wheel binding issues, so I swapped a fresh wheel on, and I had to loosen my drive shaft. That turned out to bite me in the ass right at the start of this fight, despite driving back and forth on it for a bit before the fight started.
But there is no slouches right now.
Let's get our eyes in cage 2 right now. There we see Seth Schaefer with Division, Calvin Eba with Lynx in the blue corner.
8, 7.
Elimination round 7.
6,
One of these bots is going home.
4, 3, 2, 1.
This is a tough matchup for both of these bots. Division with a big hit right off the bat. Fast spin-up time for Division. Is Division able to self-right, though?
Yes!
Yes, they are!
Holy cow.
Oh, nasty hit there from Lynx, but Division landing right on their wheels.
Oh, it looks like Division might, lost one of its wheels on its left side.
Oh, nasty. Yeah, the wheel is gone. And now the other wheel is gone, and that is a tap out. That is such classic Calvin Eba and Lynx. He ripped both the wheels off, and the first thing you hear from him as the camera pans to him is, sorry, the best.
Some of the best performance we've ever seen out of that bot. Unbelievable.
Absolutely, and there is no shame in going out to Lynx this late in the tournament. No way. This is the best performance we've seen by Seth. Seth's all smiles. He is normally such a serious competitor. It is good to see him grinning ear to ear. He deserves every bit of that happiness. He's just dominated today. Look at this first hit.
And it looked like his wheel was right off at the very beginning.
Boom, there you go, missing wheel and all, trying to turn towards Lynx, but Lynx coming in, getting that massive hit and then ripping the other wheel off, and right after that is when you hear Calvin say, oops, sorry. Didn't mean to rip the wheels off of your bot.
I think Allie right now is catching up with Seth Schaefer. Let's tune in.
I love his attitude right now. He goes, it'll buff out. It'll buff out. It started quite literally with a bang. And now we're here. You had a very successful day. I know you're going home now, but give us your recap of today. How are you feeling? We've seen a couple of smiles out of you.
Yeah, all right. So I've been to Norwalk Havoc going back to August of 2019 with this exact sort of vague design, inspired heavily by Deep Six, of course. The name is an homage to Deep Six with the math pun. Every single time I've been to Norwalk, I've had more than 40 fights here. I have gone to, I think, 5 judges' decisions total now. 2 of them today, both of which I somehow won. And I have never, ever won more than 3 fights in one event, and now I've won 6.
What a day. Now I know why you're smiling. Congratulations on a great day.
I mean, I beat a robot that beat Lynx. I got annihilated by Lynx. I can't really be that upset about it.
Love that attitude. You will sleep well tonight. Congratulations.
Oh, congratulations to Seth Schaefer. Let's give him a round of applause
awesome
for a
job,
great
Seth.
day at the tournament. He did not win the dumpster, but he has definitely won at Robot Combat today.
Yeah, totally.
Just totally advancing his game, totally advancing his standing in this tournament.
There's justcauserobotics.com.
Yeah, check out their YouTube channel.
He really does. He makes great content. I've
Absolutely.
learned many things.
Yeah, so as tends to happen with these kinds of last-minute adjustments, it didn't really pan out. But I will say, I got an incredible first hit here. I mean, look at this. I spiked him to the ceiling so hard that he sparked against the vent for the negative pressure system. But after that, it was all downhill because I'd already lost my wheel without him even touching me. And there wasn't a whole lot I could do except to try my best to keep facing towards him. Without the ability to actually drive any of the engagements, there was basically no way I was going to win the fight after the first, 12 seconds. So, yeah. Division went out in a blaze of glory, just as I had hoped, and I was pretty happy with the results, as you'll see from the interview. Both drive motors still work, and the weapon still works. Hey! It's all over. I did not lose quietly into that good night, but I lost. He broke this entire drive mount, and the other one, the shaft unscrewed itself because I have to redesign these mounts. And it was binding, so I loosened it myself. I kind of thought that it might come off, but I needed the drive sides to be vaguely even, and they were not. So that was my fault. But the second wheel, I mean, he would have done that to the first wheel eventually anyway. But drive motors work perfectly. Weapon motor still works perfectly, so I can't be too upset about that. It's like the easiest repair ever, really, except for this. There's only one part of my robot that I can befittingly give you, and that is the one that has the robot's name on it. You've somehow permanently deformed TPU. I don't think that should be physically possible, but you did it anyway.
Wow.
Congratulations.
How did I do that? You put a hole in my front armor.
Oh my gosh, do I get to keep that?
Yeah, so
Hell yeah.
this is for you.
Thank you so much. Would you guys
Awesome
give
fight.
a 10-second rundown of the fight? And if I did any actual damage to you somehow?
So you put a hole in that armor there, and then bent a screw in there. But on that first weapon-to-weapon exchange where you sent me to the ceiling, I don't see a mark from that.
Well,
so
okay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know where you hit there.
Hit something.
But yeah, other than that, Lynx is good to go.
All right, well, good luck winning the rest of the event.
Thank you.
So yeah, I can't be unhappy with how that went. Honestly, it was an amazing event. I had a really great time that day. It was exhausting, and I ended up getting home at 2 a.m., but it was definitely worth it. I've got some awesome trophies from Spartan, and also from Spartan, I've got Dread Hades axle. I've got, of course, Calvin Iba's signed Lynx fork mount, which is definitely going in my trophy case. And I wanted to show exactly what went wrong with the drive. So like I said, I loosened the axle on one side, but on the other side, Calvin broke it. You can see here, he snapped the 3D printed mount. So this was printed in Matter Hackers Pro Nylon. As you can see, it completely shattered. It actually shattered along here as well. It's kind of hard to see on camera. And it broke here. It's completely wrecked. Nylon is just slightly too brittle. I might see if I can explore other material options that might work, but that's going to be something I experiment between now and July with. I did redesign the drive mounts. This drive mount is actually the same ones I ran in March, and I actually had these ones on the other division that had the horizontal configuration with the wedge. These are printed in a Cheaty PA12CF carbon fiber nylon, and this is the updated version of the drive. So this already fixes all of the issues that I had with the March one. I was just too lazy to swap them both out, and when I had screwed into these, I heard them cracking. It seemed like this might not hold up very well to stay on the robot, so I didn't want to run the risk of having this break against Lynx. And it turns out that I probably would have had either one break because Lynx hits super goddamn hard. He the way that I had the drive mounts set up, basically, I've got the wheel, I've got an inch-long, quarter-inch diameter shoulder bolt, goes through the wheel, there's bushings in the wheel, and then there's this aluminum nylock nut. The problem is that the nylock nut sits like here, and the nylon part of it doesn't always engage if the shoulder bolt doesn't go all the way down. So I fixed that with this version, and then it it has no play now. I also fixed that. I had to press in the shoulder bolt apparently to get it to bottom out, which I failed to do in the horizontal config. There was a lot more axial play. And then I also introduced these little shims. So these are 5/1000ths of an inch thick steel shims that are basically acting in place of thrust washers to make it so that there's no plastic on plastic friction here, which was the binding, I think, was mostly caused by that. It just being able to rub against the mount with the plastic gear touching a little bit, even though there should, in theory, be a bronze bushing sticking out further than the gear. I think it just wasn't quite perfect, so these shims will help avoid that. And then, because the threads in the aluminum got screwed up and the nylon was a bit too far away, I got these, which are a low-profile steel nylock nut to use from now on. So, should address pretty much all the issues I have with the drive. And then I'll just spend some time tweaking the weapon speed controller between now and July to get the self-righting to actually work properly, because that was being pretty annoying. The reversing was way too slow. So, yeah. Anyway, so what's next? Honestly, I've been pretty burnt out in the last few weeks. I don't think I'm going to make another video for the next 2 weeks, probably. I've got to be traveling, I think, one or both of those weekends anyway, just for different personal stuff that I'm dealing with. And nothing terrible, just there are things happening in the lives of people that I know that I might need to be there for. So yeah, that, and I'm pretty burnt out because I just released a new product, the Dartbox gear motors, which you can buy, but if you do, please give me a few days to assemble them, because it turns out it takes forever. I have 130 gearboxes right now. I sold about 24 on pre-orders before they arrived just this past Wednesday. I spent more than 6 hours just on Saturday morning assembling gear motors and setting up the store page for the Terracan dual speed controllers that I actually also got in, and just dealing with all of the little minute details that are needed to get those things running properly. So it has been a very long road to get those here, and it's going to be an even longer road getting them out the door. So be patient with me if you want to buy them, but also I will take your money. So the next video that I make will most likely finally be the follow-up to my How Much Robots Cost video, where I talked about how much my robots cost, but this time I'll be looking at survey data from over 100 robots from other people and how much they cost in weight classes from 150 grams up to 30 pounds. So make sure to subscribe, click the bell so you get notified when that comes out. And I also did a survey on my YouTube channel page and on Reddit where I asked people what is the biggest barrier to building your own robot, and on both of them, more than 40% of people who responded with 5 options said it was time and money. So I think that video will be applicable to most of you. So definitely keep an eye out. That's all I have for you today. If you like this video, click like. If you want to see more like this, make sure to subscribe and click the bell icon. Thanks for watching.